All right, I call the business meeting to order. It's 7:45. Pledge allegiance. 6:45. Yeah. Oh,
I do what you meant.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Saturday, August 4th, the Poquott Community Association is having lobster bake. It's 3 o'clock is the cardboard race. 3:30 is the cardboard races, and then the barbecue is at 5. It's $15 for the barbecue, $30 if you want the barbecue with the lobster, and $7 for kids under 10. Reports, Frank, you want to report?
Last 30 days, there were 10 incident reports, 3 medical calls, 1 fire alarm, 1 disturbance, 1 parking complaint. We addressed 8 parking violations and 2 quality of life complaints for signs. We conducted 13 courtesy house checks this month, and the officers are requesting if we can put locks back on the doggy bag boxes on the parks. We've got locks on them. Apparently, some people are still putting dirty bags in there.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
They
So
think
we
it's
can
trash.
Put the locks back on, and then we'll just unlock them when we have to refill them.
I'll have David just pick them up this weekend at 8, at 8.
They have locks, I think we had them.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know where they went.
Okay. They might be down in the basement.
The only reason you open up the top, for me anyway,
Okay.
is sometimes they don't come out.
Come out, right.
And it's tight to get your fingers in there.
I know.
I didn't think it was
So, you open
you.
up, you slide, you keep repeating it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think
Yeah.
it was you, I just put the dirty ones.
Well, you know,
He did admit to it,
Wasn't
not
really
that
bad.
way, you know.
You should know a lot about those boxes.
Ron?
Well, we're only 1 month into the year, so there's not a whole lot that's happening or of concern that's out of the ordinary. I would mention one thing, the handyman numbers are up, more than double what we would have budgeted for a month.
Okay.
Now, there may be seasonal reasons for that, just giving a heads up. The payments of taxes are coming in much more on time than they have in the past. That's good and not so good, because now the fines and penalties will be down. We only had $2,000 in there, but anyway, that's something that may be down. The election monies have all been used up. Hopefully there are no more elections this year.
Not this year.
The docks, given the numbers that have been talked about, and I don't want to jump ahead of things, but it would, for the plans that are going to be discussed, it would be under budget for what we've budgeted for the year.
Okay. Now, have you heard anything from Colin Donowski about the audit?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I haven't either.
Since I
So-
was here, no.
I know they were here, and I don't think they're coming back anymore.
No, I don't
Okay.
think they have.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Public comments?
Great job.
I'll try not to sign.
Did we ever get anything officially for the court?
No, well, we didn't get back that audit, the first one that started, I guess a year ago? Did that start a year ago? And then we still, I know Colonowski's still waiting for this stuff too, for their audit, but I told Chris Reno not to wait for them this year, because last year, they didn't finish theirs till like November. So if he finishes ours like in August and can do it for us in September, we'll do that, and then he can finish court whenever he finishes it. Yeah, okay. But we heard we'll get something back soon from them, but we haven't on that first audit, so. Okay, resolutions, 07-2018-1, resolution adopting July 19, 2018 agenda as printed, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 07-2018-2, resolution accepting the monthly reports from July 19th, 2018. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution 07-2018-3, resolution adopting the minutes from the June 7, 2018 work session of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution 07, 2018-4. Resolution adopting the minutes from the June 7th, 2018 business session of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution 07, 2018-5, resolution adopting the minutes from the June 28th, 2018 work session of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're gonna table motion for resolution 07, 2018-6 to table to September. So moved?
Second.
Okay.
Now, a question, having talked about this just before. The way this is phrased, we're talking about two different laws, two different chapters.
Right.
Should we really include at least the three, if not the four, signs and advertising kind of peripheral, but
Yeah,
still?
I'm not even gonna, honestly, we're tabling it for September, but we'll have all the paperwork by then, and then we can add in with it what other chapters we have, and then set the public hearing. We might as well do the public hearing all in one night for all of them, you know, unless it's too much, or we break it into two, or however it ends up working out.
Well, if you want to do that, what I was hoping to do is to distribute electronically whatever information we get from Joe, so that everybody
You can comment on it.
Bone up on it before the meeting, so
Mhm.
then this way we can do that.
That'd be fun.
So, hopefully he'll know that, and he can, I mean.
I'll tell him. Okay. Okay.
Resolution number 07, 2018-7, motion to appoint Gary Garofano to the Village of Poquott Planning Board for a term expiring 2025. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution 07, 2018-8. Resolution adopting lead agency status for purposes of SECRA and determining that the construction of the Village of Poquott Community Dock by expenditures by the village in the amount not to exceed $255,000 to be financed by a bond in the amount of $250,000 with a term not to exceed 10 years is an unlisted action for purposes of SECRA, that the adoption of the bond resolution and issuance of the bonds will not have a significant negative impact on the environment, and adopting a negative declaration for purposes of SECRA. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, Resolution 07, 2018-9. Resolution approving the construction of a community dock in the village for village property owners and residents, stating the estimated maximum cost to the village for the construction of the community dock is to be $255,000, to be financed by the issuance of Village of Poquott bonds in the amount of not more than $250,000, with a maturity of not longer than 10 years. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution 07, 2018-10, resolution adopting lead agency status for the purpose of SECRA and determining that the adoption of the bond resolution authorizing the issuance of the Village of Poquott bonds in the amount of not more than $250,000 for a term not to exceed 10 years is an unlisted action for the purposes of SECRA. The adoption of the bond resolution and issuance of the bond will not have a significant impact on the environment, and adopting a negative declaration for the purpose of SECRA. So moved.
Hold on, one
Mm.
thing. It sounds like, unless there's something.
There is, one's for the construction and one's for the actual bond.
So 8.
8 is for the
Versus 10,
construction,
different-
and the
okay.
6 one's for the bond. Okay. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 07, 2018-11. Resolution approving the adoption of a bond resolution authorizing the Village of Poquott to incur indebtedness not to exceed $250,000 by the issuance of Village of Poquott bonds in the amount not to exceed $250,000 for a term not to exceed 10 years. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. That was all from the bond company. So,
Resolution 07, 2018-12. Resolution awarding the contract for the Village Community Dock to Brant Marine, Inc. in the amount of $256,751, subjected to the issuance, $571, subjected to the issuance of a bond in the amount of $250,000. So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Now, didn't you just say before that we were gonna hold off on that one?
No, we're holding off on awarding it to Poquott
Oh,
Bank
okay.
until
So,
next year. Okay,
Question?
motion carries.
Okay, we're saying it's going to be a maximum construction cost of $255.
Right, well, because we had, we knew we had $1,600, like in the budget.
Okay, I'm just wondering though, if saying one thing creates a conflict.
Well, see, the price that they gave us for wait, you sent it to me today. The price they gave us for $256,000 included something that we're not gonna need. So we already know it's not gonna be over $255.
I'd almost like to go off the record on one other thing,
Okay.
because we've had engineering costs that we've already paid for.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but I think this is for the actual construction of the dock. But we also had the offset of the donation.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just cautious.
Wasn't the
I-
design of the dock part of last year's budget?
Will end up coming out of last year's money, yes. So sort of the donation went in and the money came out.
So it's,
I don't disagree with that, I'm just concerned that somebody may try to nitpick it.
Are you concerned that we would not somehow be able to meet our obligation?
No, not at all. I'm not worried about meeting it, I'm just worried about,
somebody picking it apart.
yes.
So I'm saying, well, we're only approving $255, but it's coming in at $256.
Or 266.
Right. Oh, because it was engineering costs in this year
Exactly,
for the dock.
yes.
Okay. We could change it.
Even if it's just amended to say future costs, one word, future construction.
You think on this resolution?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you something. This is projected that this entire amount of money will be spent in the fiscal year of 2000.
18, yes.
19, yes.
Mhm.
So, in other words, it's not as if we had surprise costs at
Not
the
at all.
end that would already take us
Not
into
at all, it's just
2019.
that if someone interprets the 255 as a max of construction costs.
And we're saying we already had engineer costs in this year that
Yeah,
we can,
I
right.
understand that. So you're talking about the optics of how it looks and
Yes.
how.
Exactly. Given, that there are a lot of opinions on this.
So you would amend it just to say for future
Future,
construction.
one word, yeah.
Yep. So,
It might affect some of the earlier ones too.
yeah, I was gonna say we may have to go back and,
Yeah.
Well, we then have to do resolutions
Yeah.
to do all that stuff in that way, which we could do if you think it's that big. If you just say, and this might go over like a lead balloon to somebody.
You know better than I do about what to anticipate from people.
Well, but you also said that in the contract, we're going to say that additional costs, unanticipated costs will be borne by the contractor.
right. And we also have, there's one item in there, and I tried to call Chick's not, he's away. Depending on what material you use, it's a savings of $16,000. So if we don't have to use
1,600 or 16?
16,000. So they're saying if you use this for the piles instead of this material, you take off $16,800. But I didn't know if we could do that or not, so I want to ask Chick. So that could make up the difference. I say we move forward, we can always amend it later on.
It sounds like it's a good bet.
Mhm.
Right.
If you-
I didn't know that about that part.
Yeah. So I think I might have wrote this thing. Let me see.
Did the quote cover the materials list?
Yeah,
So that you
they,
can really
and
short
their bid is per Chick's thing, but then they put in this thing saying, if the village engineer allows us to do this material instead of this material, if that's allowed, you can take $16,000.
Does that mean that it's gonna be a less quality job, if you're going with like?
Well, that's why I have to ask Chip. I have to ask him if that's okay.
So we can't really count that, because we may, once we get a clarification, we may say that's just not the way we want to see this. If this thing is going to be having maintenance issues in 3 years because the material is just not
Oh,
holding
no,
up.
we're gonna go with what the engineer
Yeah.
tells us is the
Okay,
right
so we
thing.
can't count that
No,
$16,000.
not yet.
So.
You gotta go back to the engineer, because the bottom line is the construction company says, here's the bid for the spec. However, if approved by your engineer, we could do this.
Right.
And you'll save 16,000. So if the engineer says, yeah, that's an option, we didn't think of that, then we're in, we're 16 savings.
Right, but the
The
engineer
engineer
says
says, no,
no.
it's status quo.
Right, so in terms of getting back to the resolutions, are we still saying we're comfortable with it? Because, you know, you have to consider the worst case scenario.
Sure.
And the worst case scenario might be that, no, we can't save that $16,000 because that would be a cheap way of doing the job. And we don't want it. And then if we do have these unanticipated additional expenses, we would have to deal with that at some point during this fiscal year.
I don't
Yes.
think the question is unanticipated costs. I think the question is if somebody looks back and says, well, you're saying it's this much, but you've already spent that much in the design. So it's not what comes up in the future, that's taken care of in the bid itself.
Right.
But somebody going back saying, you spent $22,000 in the design of this dock, you're telling me it's 255, well, that's not true, it's really 275.
That's what Ron's saying.
That's what he's saying. Not going forward, looking back, if somebody looks back. In
Well,
other words, this really isn't
but
how
we've
much
already
it's gonna
paid that
cost.
money out.
Right, that's
So
why I
I-
mentioned it's last year's budget.
I would have no trouble defending that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't feel
So
I'm
I
saying.
say, I say
I
then
think
we
we're
just
good the way
finish
we
this,
are.
and if we
Right,
have to
that was
amend it,
last
we'll-
year.
Yeah,
and now
I'm
we're
good,
saying-
I'm good with this.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
But we did have costs this year from the engineer that were for the dock, correct?
But the
But,
memo
but,
is-
but it was
10,000.
last, it was not.
For last year,
Right.
for the permits and stuff.
The
Okay.
new budget starts now.
I'm comfortable doing it.
Yeah,
If we have
me
to
too.
amend it, then we'll amend it.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so Cindy, do you want me to redo number 12?
We have to add that, what he wanted to add, the amending.
I would add it.
I don't know, you know, then the question is, should it be added to others?
Right, that's the thing.
Oh.
If you add it, then
Yeah,
it's gonna be added to all of them.
Then I say let's leave it.
You
Okay.
don't leave it.
All right, who just did that one then?
We're good. I just
So you
did,
just,
All right.
leaving it.
Okay. All right, Resolution 07, 2018-13. Resolution approving Clerk Newfield to order the tent for the Poquott Community Association
Request.
request,
All right. See,
Not
I
to-
shouldn't approve it.
not to exceed $950. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, Cindy, you want to do the checks?
okay.
Oh, wait, you know what, we have one other resolution.
Okay.
Resolution approving, Poquott Field to schedule repairs for tennis courts with Gold Coast Tennis not to exceed $6,950. So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Plus the
So that was number 13.
We don't get charged
Okay. So there's 14 unpaid bills to be approved for $31,457.93. And the biggest one is Salerno Brokerage Corp. for $19,776.81.
What is that for?
The insurance,
Oh, sure.
there's 13 unpaid bills to be approved, totaling $5,798.40. The largest was 4D Landscaping, $1,850.70. The Home Depot credit card totaling $513.03. 4 unpaid bills to be approved for a total of $550, all for, this was the election inspectors. 27 unpaid bills to be approved, totaling $17,908.69. And Quickway Sanitation was the highest at $7,061.12. 6 unpaid bills to be approved totaling $1,533.05. The biggest being New York State Insurance Fund, $958.25. The Visa credit card totaling $425.90. 6 unpaid bills to be approved totaling $2,986.40. The biggest being New York State Insurance Fund, $994.07. 6 unpaid bills to be approved totaling $655.30, and call ahead court being the biggest at $270.
Resolution 07-2018-14, resolution approving all checks for the voucher report, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before we just close, did you want to talk, we talked about the shed for Walnut, we talked about the rate.
Yep.
Okay, did you want to talk about any plans? With Chick, I know he's not here now, do you want to wait till September?
Let's wait till September.
Okay.
I mean, they're looking at it right now, they're
Uh-huh.
looking for grants and all that, they already have the permit that we got from DEC back 10 years or so ago,
Okay,
which is no good for us today, so it's a whole different set of how we have to do things, so. This season, we're done, but I think things that we talked about, the shed, the rate, the chairs, we need to go forward.
okay.
And I sent you that link, I don't know if you looked at it.
Yeah, we looked at it, and we're gonna see what if the handyman, what he can do, and if not, then we could move, we could do that through email, and then,
Sure.
so that we
Yeah.
can have it done by the fall. We'll do it for September meeting, so. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Okay.
Bills.